Poisonrana.
Before AEW All In at Wembley Stadium, join Poisonrana for our pre-game tailgate at the OYO Green Man Pub. We'll be there from around noon with wrestling themes blasting, a massive beer garden, great beers and classic pub food. The Green Man is at 64 Dagmar Avenue, Wembley, just a 10-minute walk from the stadium. So before Ospreay and Omega lock up, grab a pint, cut a promo with your mates, and get hyped with Poisonrana and wrestling fans from around the world. The road to Wembley starts at the Green Man. Are you all in?
Poisonrana.
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking these things as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you could never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next. You found us at postwrestling.com. You're listening in your Spotify, Apple, and it's Tuesday night. NXT just finished, which means...
It means we are live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, YouTube room. How are we doing?
Hello. All the post marks worldwide. And like I said, Tuesdays, NXT friends.
Friends.
Unite. As we're going to talk all about some NXT. Who's ready to talk about some WWE developmental pro wrestling on the CW?
I know I am.
I hope so. I'm born ready. This is what we do here at Post Wrestling. And we can't do it without you fine people out there. Appreciate whether you're listening in the Post Wrestling audio feed or on our YouTube. Tuesday nights is where it's at. And are you feeling the heat? Are you feeling the heat wave coming soon to NXT?
I mean, we now know what will be going up against Omega and Ospreay. It'll be Zilla Fatu.
Zilla Fatu, yeah.
Grayson Waller. Be Tony D'Angelo. It'll be Cruz Montana in a fatal four-way. I mean, it's, you know, we've talked endlessly about the counter programming and all that, but I do think this heat wave looks a little bit more beefed up than some previous ones. Like I'm really interested in the Kendal Kelani match, and I think there is intrigue in that men's main event. So I think they're doing a good job. Just wish it wasn't on that day. Like, can't it be a week or so after? Would be nice, but we'll go round in circles talking about this. I'm pretty sure as long as an AEW exists, this will be happening.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of this counter programming that is, I believe it's the Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern time. What an interesting time for NXT to pick to actually have their live PLE in Texas. Quite the astonishing time. Due to this, this is breaking news here at Up Next. Due to the, two wrestling shows in one day, we cannot do the Fred Flintstone, or we choose not to, because for the first time ever, we are not doing a show.
Yeah, it can't happen. We're going to be there in London. We're going to be the next day. We have our friend Rob, who's making the flight to London as well for All In. And really, that Monday is his only day he's going to be in London, and he's never been before. So we'd already planned like touristy stuff and things like that. And then we're going to Liverpool and Dublin, and like we've got all these plans that we made months and months ago before this was announced. So we're unable to do a Heatwave show. We will obviously do a a big like roundup show when we go back, and we'll give kind of more general thoughts about it. And you know, we do have a Patreon, and I'm sure at one point down the line, someone's going to go, oh, "Hey, you never reviewed this show," and they'll pick it for an Up Yours or something. But yes, as far as our like post wrestling coverage will be going, I know Jack Wannon and Way, I believe, are going live for Raw the next night, so they'll be giving their thoughts on that show. If you want some sort of post wrestling coverage on Heatwave, but unfortunately, this is the first time it's not feasible at all. Like, especially with time differences and stuff, like all our plans we've got, it's already a really packed week we've got planned. So yeah, it's really unfortunate. So blame WWE, stop the counter programming, like send them your emails to Stamford and be like, hey, we didn't get an Up Next for this show, and this is all your fault for counter programming. So I blame them.
I'm not even. You kind of said it there. You put a nice little thing on it, because honestly, this Heatwave is in a few weeks, and we do the show every Tuesday, and the last few NXT PLEs, it's been a rough patch of ups and downs in NXT, but the PLEs, they've kind of been a little wonky, a little maybe not buzzworthy. It just kind of floating on by, and even with the CW stuff, it was just kind of went and came. This is the first one. I'm like, okay, like you said, we've got some match announcements, some new people injected into the new blood of NXT. That there's actually there's some motion, you know. And when there's motion, there's lotion. There's some things going on in NXT. We've been complaining about the men's roster, and we finally got it. So I'm actually like, I'm feeling the heat, and unfortunately, I won't be able to watch it because we made our decision, and for the first time, if you followed, I have done a show in the past called What's Next, then it turned into Up Next, and since being on Post Wrestling with you and me, we've pretty much cut, like, unless it was like a clip show or something like that, like a best of thing, or like a heavily taped edition.
Yeah,
we have covered every like possible episode of NXT since we've gotten together and started working for Post Wrestling and John.
Like our first episode we did was Takeover New Orleans, and I recorded from a hostel in New Orleans on my phone. I remember recording a show in Cuba on janky internet at a all-inclusive for Vengeance Day.
We've done some crazy things to try to record.
We've managed to cover all of these things, and yeah, it's just really not feasible.
And like, look, we obviously we put it on ourselves. We're like, no, we want to make sure we cover everything. We're your NXT friends, you know. But this is we are. It's probably part of like whatever that nicked us in that department. We're wrestling fans, you know. So like, this is the first time where I'm like, man, everyone's made their decision, and we did too. So for the first time, we won't be doing a Heatwave show. You can hear Jack and Way, the Monday Night Raw after All In and Heatwave. They will be live talking about Raw and probably the whole weekend and everything. John Pollock will be in London to be at All In. He'll be with us, which I'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, we won't be doing a Heatwave show. Next week, I'll be making the trek across the pond to meet you. So we will do an NXT review next Wednesday sometime. And that will be your go-home show for Heatwave. And we'll talk all about it and give you a little preview for that show. But yeah, then at some point we'll return. But I think we're going to be missing the Heatwave and the NXT that follows the Heatwave, because we'll also be in Liverpool.
Yes.
So that's two shows.
Missing those two. Because it'll be Liverpool and then my birthday. So
it's literally our first ever vacation at Up Next. So
yeah,
we're taking it. So this is not a knock on the... Look, we stuck through 2.0, paint splatter and all. Trust me, this isn't because of content. It's the Heatwave is because they put it up against the show I'd rather watch. But I'm just
WWE are doing tape shows next week. They're having time.
They're okay.
Well. So
all right.
So we're doing a couple of Wednesdays. We'll be recording from my mum's. Unfortunately, my mum will have me back for like 3 days, and then it'll be breakfast, and we'll be like, sorry, we got to watch NXT and then talk about it. But yeah, just the best thing to do, follow our socials. We will notify you when going live. I assume all the YouTube listeners are subscribed to Post Wrestling because they'll notify you as well when we're going live. But yes, a couple of things will be missing, but we'll catch you all up when we get back. But this is a great plug for our Patreon, because when we are away, we will be doing some Snap Ranas. And, you know, if we happen to watch NXT on the train to Liverpool, you might get a couple of thoughts about it in a little Snap Rana. Maybe, no promises, but we will be recording and kind of documenting our trip, doing these little diary entries. People have enjoyed them in the past. It's normally when we're walking between sort of A and B, or sometimes in a cable car going up mountains, which had incredible signal somehow, and we recorded a show up there. But yeah, we'll be recording a bunch of diary entries about our trip, about sort of wrestling stuff we've done and non-wrestling stuff as well. So patreon.com/PoisonRana will be filling you in with that. And we are also banking a Heatwave show. We're looking at ECW Heatwave 2000.
Yeah, we're still watching
Heatwave. Will be dropping while we're away. So don't worry. You'll hear plenty of us over the coming weeks while we're away. But yes, our regular live up next on Post will not be one of them.
Snap Ranas are a ton of fun. When we went over for the first AEW All In Wembley, we did so many fun ones, and we tried to find the secret club in the M&M store, which you've now told me doesn't exist, but I'm still, that's what they want you to think, bruv. We need to try one more time. We need to try again. I'm very excited to go across the pond. We will be doing a ton of content. Follow us, patreon.com/PoisonRana. It is $5. You want to buy us a beer? You can at Weatherspoons. Follow our socials for more on that. As a Canadian, I'm loving how anyone across the world with a VPN can order me a pint at a Weatherspoons. But you got to follow us on Instagram for that, at PoisonRanaPod on all your socials, because all the little bit counts. We are two independent podcasters. Yes, here at Post Wrestling on Tuesdays, we are Braden and Davie up next, but collectively, we're Poison Rana, and we've been trying to put some elbow grease into us, and we're doing a ton of content and a ton of shows. And $5 a month at the Patreon gets you all the pods and all the stuff that we do all by ourselves. And we're gonna have a ton of stuff to talk about in the next few weeks with all the pub crawls and the wrestling that we're gonna get up to. And it would mean a lot if you checked out our shows. We just dropped a whole bunch of different shows. Best match ever Tanahashi, best match ever Jeff Jarrett. We've been all over the place with our wrestling and movie reviews. But because we've got some great feedback for our Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Poison Rana profile podcast, I'm feeling generous, and I might just drop this show for free leading up into All In. But more on that if you follow the socials, because I appreciate all the kind words people have been sending in, because we put in some work into these pods sometimes, and it's always nice to hear some positive feedback for them. So always appreciate that. But
yeah, we did a near 3-hour show talking about the history from their very first match in PWG in 2015.
Forbidden Door.
Until their last match at Forbidden Door in 2023. And we are going to be doing a part 2 after Wembley to talk about everything that happens post Forbidden Door up until Wembley.
Absolutely. So appreciate all the love, even if you're hey, $5 is a lot, hard times. A lot goes a long way if you just click that follow or subscribe in your Insta, your YouTube, whatever it is. Search Poison Rana Pod and appreciate the love. And you want to follow our travels, because if you are traveling to All In weekend next week, is it next week? In like 2 weeks? I'm going next week. So yeah,
like
it
10
feels
days.
Like a few weeks, a few weekends. If you are traveling in, or you are London based and you're attending all the shows, we will be at Rev Pro Saturday night. So if you see me wearing the Poison Rana frog hat, say hello. We're very friendly. We have a whole group going to that on Saturday night. A kind listener reached out to me, Richard, who has an extra ticket to Mystery. So now I have a date, and I'm making a whole trifecta of hitting up Mystery Wrestling in London. So if you're going to that and you see me, please say hi. Then I'm going to hop and skip over to Rev Pro. Then we're going to go out. And then the real main event. It might be Wembley Stadium on Sunday. But Sunday, August 30th, right before Wembley, you can hang out with us at the Green Man Pub, this nice, lovely outside beer garden. For Canadians, it's like a patio, but nicer, greener. We're going to have the wrestling tunes on. They got beers on tap. They got food, and we're going to have a little hangout. Any post-wrestling listeners, any Poisonrana listeners, we got Martin Bushby in the house, our man Neil. We're somehow going to try to convince John Pollock to make an appearance, but no promises. You know, he's a big Dark Side of the Ring star now, so we'll have to see on that. But we have a ton of the post-wrestling universe out there, and I'm very excited. This is doing this pod for so long. We've met some great people, and I'm hoping to meet you guys again and some new faces out there. So appreciate the love.
Yeah, I love how John just hasn't engaged at all in the big group chat we've set up for everyone.
We're not even going to see him. We'll see him at the media, like, hey, how's it going? And that's it.
He's
hopefully,
like, if I don't say anything, I'm not lying when I don't show up. So yes, but yeah, if you are heading, it's an absolutely free event. Go to Poisonrana.ca for more details. The link is right at the top. Completely free. You don't need a ticket or anything. The Eventbrite's there just to sort of give you the information. We're going to be getting there from noon-ish. Emphasis on ish. We'll try our best. We have a lot of plans on the Saturday as well. But yes, we'll be there with plenty of time before the big event at Wembley Stadium. So if you are in the area, come by, hang out. Absolutely free. We also hopefully we have a wrestling themed beer on tap.
What?
That I'm trying to get sorted out. So
okay.
Don't want to say anything too soon in case it falls through. But yes, we might be having a very all-in themed beer on tap, which should be pretty
interesting.
Fun.
Excellent. This would be great. Anyone going to the show and you're a post-wrestling listener, long time, old time, new time, whatever it is, we'd love to see you and hang out, even if it's for a quick hello. It's only about a 10-minute walk to the stadium. So come in. There's an inside, there's an outdoor part too. Cheap beer, good times. So come say hello. We'd love to see you. Fine folks and blokes out there in a few weeks in London. I'm excited. Seeing a bunch of wrestling. Rev Pro, Mystery. I'm pumped. It's going to be a whole super weekend of stuff, and very excited all about it. Summertime, but the wrestling doesn't stop. You leave this Friday. You excited? You ready?
I am, yeah. I've got one more shift left at work.
Okay.
Eric Marcotte is currently sat on the couch. He's giving us a wave. He's in town for the week, so we're going to go and see some Demand Lucha.
Oh, yeah, he came in just to see Demand Lucha, which is tomorrow night here in Toronto, and they pulled Matt Riddle from it, or I guess he's not showing. So they've now announced it's Joey Janela not versus Riddle, but versus Marco Stunt, which I'd say is an upgrade for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll find out what happened to Marco eventually, maybe, possibly. Well, I know he also just went to the WNBA game. Eric Marcotte, huge. Is it Sophie? No, the other one. Caitlin Clark. Big Caitlin Clark fan. Yeah.
Toronto got thumped, apparently. But,
nice.
It's first season. Growing pains, you know?
Yeah. Not my tempo.
Not your tempo. Okay.
No, isn't that the quote from the movie?
What movie?
Wasn't the movie? Isn't there a movie? Not quite my tempo. What's the movie you love? The guy, the mean drummer, J. Jonah Jameson, who's really mad at the kid.
Oh, okay. You're dragging.
You're dragging. Not my tempo. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I butchered
Whiplash.
it. I probably. That's it.
Yep. Give us a follow as well. We do our own. We have our own little podcast network, Poison Rana. If you don't follow it already, we did go live on Sunday on our YouTube, youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. We gave all our thoughts about the G1 final, Chelsea Green's big promo she had on SmackDown, Kevin Owens, CM Punk facing off, as well as our thoughts on AEW Dynamite and Collision as we're building to All In. Again, we will be doing, our schedule will be all over the place with the Poison Rana stuff, but please give us a follow, youtube.com/@PoisonRanaPod. Subscribe. It's free to subscribe, and you'll be notified when we're going live talking about wrestling and stuff.
Yes, we'll do tons of stuff. We will do a all-in review at some point, possibly the Monday morning, depending on how we feel. But yes, it's going to be a long day, but it's going to be some good time. So looking forward to that. Again, give us a follow. Check out all the stuff that we got going on. The wrestling never stops, though. I heard the streets were saying Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable put on a Raw banger last night, so I had to put that on today, and the streets were correct. It was a banger. It felt like I was watching Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio.
I thought Raw was great last night. I watched the whole thing, and I was pretty positive on SmackDown last week, but I thought Raw was a really good show. They had a great crowd there in Buffalo, which always helps. Bunch of this like lucha tournament they've got going on to see who from AAA is going to face Roman. And I thought El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. and Rey Fenix had a pretty fun match on there. But yeah, this Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable match was excellent. And I think like the work was good, but then there was a moment towards the end of the match where this crowd thought, holy shit, Rey Mysterio is going to win another title. And I just love when you hear the decibels in the arena just suddenly get louder and everyone's on their feet. And man, Gable's so good as well. Like the ankle lock, the way he's kind of added stuff to it that even Angle didn't used to do. Like when they're getting out of it and he sort of like gator rolls with the ankle to keep hold of it. Just such a smooth match. And the fact Rey is still going at this level at this age is crazy. But I thought they had an awesome match on Raw last night.
What did that doctor do to Rey's knees? That, like, what the hell? Like, everyone, you got bad knees, all these athletes, you could add years to, like, what happened? Like, we were all there. If you were wrestling fans, there was a time where Rey Mysterio was just not moving like that with the baggiest of baggy pants. And now, at what age? Like, he's got to be over 50 years old. At least, 50-something at this point. And he is flying around there. One of the all-time GOATs. I don't ever slander.
51. Yeah.
51. Bless Rey Mysterio. I met him when I was like 16. I was so much taller than him. He was such a nice guy. I love that this guy is 51 years old and he's still like, I'm glad I watched it. It was such a great match, honestly. There's been some sleeper Raw match. Like, okay, Raw hasn't necessarily been that great, but there has been some one-off, some good matches throughout the year, at least that you could pinpoint. Because I feel like once in a while I'm saying the same thing of like, hey, there was a really good Raw match, and this was definitely one. I would love. They should just rematch this at like the next big, like, pay-per-view.
I don't know if it was a bit of like an experiment, but there seemed to be way more wrestling on last night's show, and I mean, you're really experimenting when you're putting like El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr.
Sure.
And you had Laredo Kid the week before, and these unknown people to like your WWE audience, right? Who, I mean, in the case of that Phoenix match, like by the end of it, we're getting over, and people just genuinely like loving this Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable match. But I thought top to bottom was a really solid show last night. I mean, I know. I mean,
there was a problem. The one thing about the Chad Gable Rey Mysterio match that I bet you were thinking the same. It was missing something. The mug root beer dog. It was really missing that guy to come out when he won to like celebrate with. I've been looking like, can I 3D print this dog face for Halloween costume and you be Chad Gable?
I'll need to hit the tanning beds and the gym, I think. Yes.
Nah, you're fine.
But no, I thought I know you're not a big Bloodline guy, but I thought the closing angle on the show was pretty great. Like with the like show long build, Solo Sikoa lost to Jey Uso last week. He's being hand delivered to Roman Reigns, whatever that means, and is told that he's got to join the Bloodline. But yes, there's been a repetitive cycle, but from this segment alone, what I really liked was how how clearly defined each character was. You had Roman, who was like in his pure mob boss, the Godfather like role. Jimmy and Jay the whole time just like clowning around with their little brother because he's joining the bloodline after all this time. And you could tell that they were just trying to make him crack the whole time, like the things they were doing. And then Jacob Fatu, who's kind of still conflicted being in the bloodline. He respects Roman and respects like Roman beat him, so he listens to him. But then Solo, like that pop, and whether you're into the guy or not, like you can't deny that, like that crowd reaction when he turned on Roman and hit the Samoan spike, that crowd exploded. And then you had LA Knight coming out for the save and Jacob going to attack him and Roman telling Jacob not to. He's like, no, don't do anything, leave it to Solo. And then Jacob doesn't do anything the whole time. He just stands in the corner as Roman is getting beaten because he's like, you told me not to do anything. I thought I don't see either Solo or LA Knight beating Roman, but I think they've done a job in both of those guys being way more over than they were when they faced Roman the last time. And so I think that was a success in just like character building with all these guys. I thought it was a very solid angle to end the show.
I'm definitely like beaten to death with the bloodline stuff, but I see the positive of at least LA Knight is like being featured. I'm not seeing him taking this title from Roman at all, but at least like he feels like kind of like a big deal again and getting that reaction. And he came out looking good out of this, and Solo. And I feel like Solo has become even more popular as he embraced the goofiness, the pew pews and all that. Like I feel like that really helped. Be yourself, as Audio Slave once said, and I feel like that like maybe has even helped propel him. But I think I like LA Knight. Like I want to see him at one point be champion. You know, like it would be cool and refreshing. He's got the machismo. I dig it.
I could see this as being a way of reviving the tag division as well, because I could see LA Knight and Solo like after they've had their like singles opportunities with Roman facing the Usos. I imagine the final of this like Lucha tournament, we're getting La Parka versus Penta next week, as well as Rey Fenix versus Dragon Lee, which both sound pretty good. I'm imagining the Lucha Bros are going to face off in the finals of that. That could be a way to eventually, now we've seen them on screen together in WWE the first time, a way to bring them back together. And therefore you've got like kind of 3 hot tag teams there, which you can build a bit of a division around. I'm saying as I can't remember. Oh, it's the Vision, right? Yes.
Can't you see it's the Vision
right now? But yeah, I thought that was a success thing they got. I thought the Oba and Bron Breakker, like who is the future of WWE? I think that's we were kind of talking on Poisonrana the other week, like how do you keep Oba away from the title for this long? And I think this is a good idea. It's feature Bron Breakker in a big way again. So I thought both of them sounded good, and Obafemi with a scarily good Bron Breakker impression, which was like, was that you? Did you press a little recorder there? That was freaky. But I was impressed with that.
What was more impressive, his impersonation or Braun not breaking like an SNL sketch?
Right.
Like he didn't break. At least it didn't show him on camera. He was kind of like a nod of approval, like, oh, not bad. But
no, that's good.
You would probably crack if you're boys, but
like on top of that, I thought Lyra and Soul had a pretty good match on the show.
She hit the Soul Snatcher.
She hit the Soul Snatch pretty nice. I think she's looking more like, I've been a little harsh on her since coming to the main roster, and I don't know, it reminded me more of the NXT Soul, and I don't recall her really working with Lyra in NXT because both kind of baby faces at the time. But Lyra, I'm just finding hilarious. I don't know if it's awful or good or what, but I'm finding it interesting. Her
She
doing
just
something
does
different.
She's heel, so she doesn't shower. She's like a shopping bag lady, bird lady. Like, what is like this sad, dirty, gross? You know what? Like, she looks like you can't tell if you're like a homeless person or an extra in a movie shoot.
Yeah,
that's going on. Because the other day I went to work at 6 a.m. and there was a movie shoot right outside my building, and I learned that it was Billie Eilish filming something, and all right around it there was all these people in ripped up clothes, including actual crackheads who were walking down Bloor Street. So I was like, oh, are you part of this, or are you just actually asking me for change? That's how I feel about Lyra's character. I'm like, wait, are you supposed to be looking dirty like this? I don't understand.
I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't sound pervy, and I really don't mean it that way. But what I find funny is she's got like, you know,
oh no,
the like lack of makeup, but something to make her look like really shiny. Her hair's dirtier. She's wearing ripped up clothes. Her legs still look great. Like, she's still got
she still hits the gym, tan, you know, like
tan, smooth, muscly legs. And it's just like, you know, did you ever do that game where you'd like draw a head and then fold it over and get someone else to draw the body and then they fold it over and so you get like some weird character.
Broken telephone.
It's kind of like that. Like, from the waist down, she doesn't look as cracky. But yeah. But yeah,
I love that word.
I thought that was pretty good, and I was impressed with
wait, I still want to talk about the dirty lady.
Okay, talk about dirty lady. Dirty bird lady.
Yeah. I feel like you're not alone on this with the wrestling fans liking. It's like, oh, Lyra Valkyria. Yeah, what's her gimmick? Yeah, she's a bird lady. Yeah, she's all right. She's a good wrestler. She's a good worker. Yeah, what's her gimmick? I don't know. She's a bird. Yeah, whatever. No attention. Wait, what's that? She kind of looks like she's stinky a little bit. She looks like maybe she hasn't showered. You know what? I like that, Lyra Valkyrie. Is that wrestling fans? Just because we all don't shower and are dirty, that we're like, yo, they're cooking with this one. Come on. Also a reminder, shower, guys. Come on, it's summer. But yeah, it's funny that all of a sudden she's dirty and stinky. I mean, she just looks like she just rubs some makeup all over or whatever. But I guess it's working. I can't say I'm necessarily.
She's still. I mean, I've always found her acting pretty terrible, but she's like throwing her way into it, and that's where I'm finding it kind of funny. But it's more memorable than what she was doing before, so that's good. And her wrestling is pretty great.
But you can't tell. It's like, are you supposed to be like? I can't. There's a fine thin line of like, are you like are you some sort of like crack addict, or are you like? You do this on purpose, like, you know, when you see people in the ripped up shirt at a restaurant, you're like, are you actually like a millionaire? You know, kind of thing.
Is that a $500 ripped up shirt? Or
exactly. Yeah.
Like, did you
that
find
fine
that?
line? Yeah, it's a fine line. Yeah. Anyways, but bless her.
I was also really impressed with Stephanie Vaquer on this show. I think her I don't know during her injury whether she was like, you know, practicing more English. I thought she just sounded way more confident. She spoke more in English than she has before. But it's one thing like speaking the language, but also, you know, emoting in the language that isn't native to you. And I thought she came across really well in her segments. And I think Becky is now in that, like everyone seems to be right now, this leaning a bit more tweener. She's still a bit of a dick, but she's opposing Liv as well. So there's even the way she was dressing more like babyface Becky, but talking still a bit like heelish Becky. So I mean, a Becky and a Stephanie match is something I'd really like to see. But I thought Stephanie really stood out to me last night. I was like, man, you've stepped up, because her English always does the talking, but I thought she held her own in those segments.
Yeah, she could be propelled back into a main slaughter championship. Like, again, like there's easily a room to create the story of her on a chase, and could be probably pretty popular. But yeah, agreed.
But yeah, last week we didn't talk about Raw at all because it was such a nothing burger of a show. And, you know, we listed like 6 things I liked on last night's Raw. So hopefully this isn't just a blip and they can keep it up. But I do remember as well, sort of, whenever AEW has something hot happening, it's like they pull their socks up a bit. They're like, oh man, we got to get to work. And I certainly felt that on both Raw and SmackDown this last week. I thought there was some good stuff, and I hope they can keep it up.
And they got Kevin Owens and CM Punk in Toronto this week, so like that's a pretty big match that people are going to be interested in seeing. So,
Eric, you going?
Going to SmackDown?
SmackDown?
He is.
With John Pollock?
Yeah.
Whoa!
I was listening to John Pollock, and he was saying someone's got to cover ROH. No, they don't, John.
I don't think so.
Go and hang out with your boy Eric, and have some. Oh, John doesn't drink anymore, but have some
zeros,
martini mocktails, and some zeros, and have a good time at the.
Yes. Eric Marcotte does a lot of coverage for Post Wrestling as well. We love Eric, so he should go to SmackDown. So maybe if you're listening and you're going to SmackDown, go find Eric Marcotte and say hello. I unfortunately have to work. I'm more gutted. Look, Kevin Owens and Punk is a great match, and I would totally go if I didn't have work. But I'm literally leaving. It's my last 2 shifts. Are these 2? Yeah. I'm missing Demand Lucha, and missing that with you and Eric is actually more gutting to me, to be honest. So I'm pretty upset. And we have listeners who go to Demand Lucha. It's a legit party. So we have 2 big nights of wrestling here in Toronto. I think Chris Van Vliet's doing something with Trish before SmackDown as well, like a live interview and stuff. So yeah, it's a cool little 2-day thing going on in Toronto. So we should be lucky. And there's always indie event. Northern Crown this Sunday at Blood Brothers Brewery as well. Like there's so much going on. So if you're still in the Toronto area, Northern Crown is another indie fed that we love. The guys there are fantastic, and they're putting on a fun show as well. So always support your indie wherever you are. Like you said, I'm going across the pond. We're going Rev Pro. I want to see some British indie wrestling in arena sort of, but still I want to go and support. So support wherever you are.
It's where Raw used to be before the
that's crazy.
Before the O2. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's nuts. But support your indie wrestling. Hopefully, Eric and you have fun Thursday at Demand Lucha, because that's a blast. But I have tomorrow off, so we're gonna go out tomorrow. We'll show them a good time. Get some Jelly Kings in them.
Before we get to NXT, we do have a super chat we need to get to. Thank you to Jake from the Windy City sending us $5, who says, fellas, safe travels across the pond coming up. Hope you enjoy Rev Pro 2. You guys thinking of watching some footy as well? Unfortunately, I was hoping to go to see Arsenal-Chelsea, but it's actually on my last full day, and I think I'd rather hang out with my family. So, yeah, some dinner with mama, and I am also going to become an uncle while I'm back.
That's right.
So get to say farewell to the little baby as well before going home. So unfortunately, no football this time. Our schedules are pretty packed as it is, but hopefully next. I say that every year I go back. Hopefully next time.
Also, clarify your brother is having a baby, because people might just be like, wait, what is that? Wait.
I said I'm going to be an uncle.
Yeah. We're brothers, mate. We're brothers too, but
right.
I'm very excited to go see the fam and everything, and yeah, I'm really excited. So you want to follow along our journeys, again, Poisonrana.ca for links of everything. The Snap Ranas will be fun. But we might not see footy, but we might go see Richmond, where Ted Lasso is. We're thinking about it. So that's some footy related stuff. I haven't finished Ted Lasso yet, but I love that show so much. So that's a cool thing. I also saw there's a new Oasis doc that comes out like the week after we're there. That's like in IMAX and stuff. So we might have to go see it here in Toronto when we're back, because it looks great. So Oasis 2027 tour. Let's go.
Nice.
When they come back around. I did see the Anthony Bourdain movie, Tony, last night. I think you would love this movie. I would recommend this to you. Anthony Bourdain, like one of my fave guys, R.I.P. But this movie's about like him when he was just getting into like the kitchen and stuff. But Antonio Banderas plays like his mentor and like steals the show. Like fantastic movie. I feel like you in the cooking stuff would.
Yeah,
totally recommend it. So yeah. Well, now we can talk about some NXT, I think.
Let's do it.
NXT, WWE NXT from Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. We start off with a recap of Zilla Fatu taking over last week on NXT, arriving in NXT. And look at that. They called him by his own name. Call him by my name. Say my full name, whatever that is. They actually said his name, so we knew that. Does that mean he said, no, I'm not changing my name? Or, yes, you can have my rights to my name? I don't know what that means, but it's interesting.
I think if your surname's Fatu,
you can do whatever you want. Got it.
I don't think it matters. Right. Yeah.
What did he say? He didn't necessarily say the word Nepo baby tonight when we get to his promo later, but I think he meant to say Nepo baby, but he accidentally said Nympho baby. But more on that when we get to that segment. You go and rewind it, and you tell me I'm wrong, because I maybe rewound it like 3 times. Well, right. We start off with Cruz Montana. Out comes one of NXT's newest signees, Cruz Montana. He says, yo, NXT, what's good? A lot went down last week, and I was screwed out of becoming number 1 contender. So I want to call you out, Zilla Fatu. I don't give a damn about you. Reminds everyone that he's a loud and proud Boricua from the Bronx. And then some producer guy says, hey, Zilla's not here. And he goes, oh, you're not here? Of course. Well, Zilla Fatu doesn't come out, but he's interrupted by Rey Fenix, the AAA Cruiserweight Champion. He says, hey, I got you, and it's great to see you here, and that we're both standing in this ring. And I appreciate you, I respect you. And Cruz says, yeah, we fought a lot. AAA, the Indies, hell and back, he says. And they say that the most dangerous place in NXT is that parking lot out there. So Zilla, I'm going to be out there, and I'm going to meet your ass out there. So meet me. How about that? As he leaves the ring. So he's waiting in the parking lot tonight.
I found this funny because they, like, for obvious reasons, they don't say those letters AEW. But he goes, we go way back. We've been in AAA together. The Indies, TNA, hell and back. Like, for most people, they know them both from. I know they both had a significant role in TNA for a bit and stuff, but most of us know them from AEW. So it makes it sound like when he says hell and back, he's referring to AEW. But then the very next line, he says, like, I'll meet you in the parking lot. And what was probably the most acclaimed thing that Santana did in AEW was the 5-star parking lot brawl. So it just felt like it was like, it was AAA, TNA, and that fucking shithole. Anyway, I'm going to do what I did at that fucking shithole tonight and meet you in the parking lot. It
did make it sound like he specifically said hell and back was like, because that was hell. And I mean, both these guys definitely, had some issues or were pretty vocal, I guess. With
in prison, weren't they?
How bad it was in that other wrestling promotion. So Cruz goes to Cruz in the parking lot. That sounds weird. I didn't mean it that way, but you know what I meant. Montana goes to Cruz the parking lot. Wait, I still said that wrong. Anyways, he's in the parking lot and he's waiting for Zilla Fatu, who may or may not show up. Classic NXT lore here. Rey Fenix joins the commentary desk, sort of. He just stands there, really, and watches the 4-way match that we're going to have here. And it's a number 1 contendership match for the AAA Cruiserweight title next week. In this match, we have La Parka, Romeo Moreno, Tristan Angels, and E.K. Prosper. Right away, these 4 are just absolutely going at it. Some crazy, 4-way action where they're countering each other's things all back and forth. It was pretty cool. There's a Manhattan drop into a drop salt combo from EK for a near fall. Moreno hits his classic, springboard crossbody to the floor onto everybody, and then La Parka hits a triangle moonsault to everybody as they go into break. When we come back, Tristan Angels is in control, but the crowd here at the PC are chanting, he's a wanker, because he's British. There's just him beating up Moreno, and then he comes up top and just smacks him. There's enzuigiris, double kip-ups, and drop kicks. There's a huge tornado DDT. La Parka hits a Spanish fly. That was pretty crazy. There's all sorts of things where they're breaking up each other's pins. Shining Wizards. Booker T. Here's my Booker bite. It's been a while, but he had me dying. I knew he was going to lean into this during the entrance of La Parka. He's like, wow, he looks great for his age. And when La Parka was like lighting guys up,
I fought him in WCW.
Yeah, I fought him.
How is he still going?
I can't believe he's still doing this. So when there's like a spot where they're all going crazy towards the end, and La Parka's like gaining some control, like a crazy Spanish fly off the top for a near fall, and Booker T is like, wow. I mean, Vic is like, wow, how did he know how to escape that maneuver? And Booker's like, that's because La Parka's got decades on these guys, Vic. Decades. He's got decades on these guys because he's been wrestling. Yes, Booker, it's the same guy. I think they should continue with the bit, to be completely honest.
I like it.
Yeah. It's eventually the huge moonsault from EK Prosper, and he gets the win. And then Ray Phoenix gets in the ring. They have a handshake, and it sets up for their match next week. But Ray Phoenix, EK Prosper.
This was really fun. Like all four guys delivered in this. I did find Tristan Angels funny as he's walking to the ring. He goes, "I'm a cruiserweight."
Yeah,
231, like saying his weight. But I mean, he was great there, being kind of the muscle in this match. There was a nice like deadlift suplex he did from the apron, and EK Prosper is so incredible to watch. I loved how he broke up the pin with like a poetry in motion off the back, essentially. And then the moonsault he does, it looks like unlike anyone else's because he's got that beautiful tuck, and the height he gets with it looks great. La Parka is someone I've really enjoyed, like this version. Whenever I've watched him, I think he's pretty nimble out there and can do some sweet stuff. And I always praise these multi-man matches on NXT. I just thought this was a lot of fun, a lot of action, and EK is certainly the one to watch out for.
Absolutely. EK is like, as soon as we started seeing him, we're like, okay, he's doing some unorthodox moves like moonsaults and stuff. And we're like, okay, that's someone to watch. But they clearly see a whole lot more of him. And we've seen him even cutting promos more. Like he's becoming a bit well-rounded even here in NXT. I don't necessarily think he should win next week because I don't think he needs this cruiserweight title. But down the line, he should be positioned higher up
him and
in
Phoenix
NXT.
Will be fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be honestly a match to look out for next week would be this match, because I think this is probably my match of the night with this opener, this 4-way. Like it was pretty fun
stuff.
You have a cool little class of people. Like I like Tristan Angels. I think he's pretty decent in the ring, but I think he's got his Hunter Hearst Helmsley British gimmick down pat. EK is someone I definitely would see a huge future in NXT and WWE. We go from that to Kendal Gray and Wren Sinclair backstage. Her ear is still taped up. This is when Vanity Project walk in, and Brad Baylor, evil Matt Damon, starts to chat her up, starts to hit on her. He goes, "Hey, Kendal, it looks like you need someone to take care of you," referring to her hurt ear. They start to argue about like, oh, you're gross. You're not a real man. Like I could out wrestle you. You remind me of dudes that were on my wrestling team that I would out wrestle. They mentioned that Shiloh Hill is going to beat Jackson Drake tonight. So Vanity calls Shiloh Hill a freak. And Wren and Kendal are like, he's not a freak. He's cool. And he knows how to use tools. Unlike you guys are just tools. And then they kind of say that Micah is the real muscle in the group and is bigger muscles than all of them. And they walk off. And they're all kind of flustered. And Ricky Smokes says, "Hey, that was kind of hot." And then Jackson Drake says, "Hey, Micah, you're going to let her talk to us like that?" And Micah says, "Honestly, she cooked y'all. So you better win tonight and prove her wrong." And walks off.
So Smokes just liked being just dressed
well,
down.
clearly they're hanging out with this girl who crushes them, I'm sure, if you want to go that route. Kayfabe wise, is it like Freebird rule here? Are we talking about? Or like...
I'm pretty sure it's her and Jackson.
Right. I actually thought that was really funny, and I liked that Micah kind of, we've kind of compared her to the China role in DX, right? I think that's definitely what they're... Look, Shawn Michaels runs NXT. It's not crazy to say that he's going through his playbook, and clearly that's kind of the gimmick. I like that she doesn't just do classic, like, I'll get her. Instead, she's like, nah, she fucking got you. Like, nah, she was right. I'm like, oh, I kind of like that she pushes them back a bit. So, Danny Project, great.
I like this segment. I think especially for Kendal, who, I think everyone sees a lot in, right? Like she should be a big star in this company, but such a big part of WWE is being able to talk and promos and goofy acting stuff and all that. And as silly as these segments can seem, I think she's really come out of her shell. And I thought she seemed very natural here, like dressing down the boys as well as Wren, who's always great at it. So I think these segments are kind of important for NXT for development, and thought that both Wren and Kendal came off well. But I do like the dynamic, as you said, with Vanity Project with Micah just being like, nah, she had a point. Like, she's insulting their lack of facial hair, and she wrestled boys like that at school and killed them. It was funny.
I like the Vanity Project. They're great. They're great bad guys. I feel like this almost they're going to be babyface soon because of, like, they're going to become the funny heels that, you kind of eventually... They have
been for me for a long time.
Yeah, they have been for us pretty much right out the gate. I think the first time we saw them, we were like, what in the hell what is this? And then we were like, no, we understand. And then we could see that they actually could wrestle, like, really well. So, I thought this was pretty funny. We went from that to our next match. Nattie, don't call her Natalia Neidhart, low-key legend, Nattie, taking on Thea Hale. We have Nattie and her baddies. This is my favorite group here. Great stable in NXT right now. The Nattie baddies. With Nattie with her two blondes ringside. And then Thea Hale comes out with Jada Parker. But Jada's with Thea, because Jada's not wrestling. She's just in Thea's corner. But she's in the ring with her. So she comes out and they make the entrance together. It's so weird hearing Thea Hale's, like, emo dad rock music while Jada Parker is trying to, I'm with her right now, because it's usually her music. I'm like, it's just so funny, because I'm like, you're not a tag team, but she's standing in the ring with her doing her pose as Thea's doing her American Pie dance. Right away, Thea and Nattie go at it. Thea gets the best of her a few times and then hits a tope onto the said baddies and then yells, "Hell yeah!" And then again does her American Pie dance with Jada as they go into commercial. Eventually, though, Nattie shows her some graps, how to do it, puts her in a very nice surfboard, like lifts her in the air as Booker T goes off. Surfboard. Booker says it looks like Thea's in the bad side of town as Nattie's just putting her in all different submissions. Eventually, there's the Nattie by Nature discus clothesline, but Thea comes back. There's a jumping neck breaker, which was pretty cool, as it cuts picture-in-picture to Cruz, Montana in the parking lot. He's looking for Zilla, but there's no Zilla thus far. Back to the match. Thea sets up for her coffin drop, as she now calls the, let me get this right, boink. But Nattie scouts it.
Is it boink or boing? I think it's just boing.
Boing, not boink, like doink. Yeah, boing. Yeah, like a boner. I get it. Nattie counters, but rolls her up for a near fall. But then Thea puts her into the Kimura. And I thought Nattie did a great job of looking like she was about to give Thea this tap out. But instead, you forget, she's a low-key legend. She turns this around, gets Thea into the sharpshooter, and the master shows it how it's done. Thea Hale taps out to the sharpshooter as Nattie and the baddies stand tall. They go to attack her, but I think they hold back Jada and attack her and then kind of walk off and laugh. But yes, Nattie and the baddies on the bad side of town. I kind of liked it. I liked her schooling Thea Hale. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Thea really stepped up here, and big time Baxter in the chat saying every time Thea Hale is getting momentum, they use the fire extinguisher to cool her down. She needed this win. I don't know if in this story she needed to beat Nattie quite yet, because
not yet.
The story is still Jada, right? It's still Jada and Nattie is the big feud going on. So I don't think it would have made sense for Thea to win here. But I'm glad she's back on TV, and I'm glad she's featured and got something to do again. And I hope they do get behind her, because they really called her off after the, the stuff with Blake Monroe.
Yeah.
The like inadvertent win and all that. They kind of called her off after that. But she's good. And I thought she held her own against Nattie here. And I liked the... whereas I felt when she came out of what she was with... the NQCC, wasn't she, where she learned the Kimura, it felt a bit of a gimmick, like she was her regular wrestler and then would just lock in a Kimura. But here she was going like hold for hold at points with Nattie, and I thought she looked good. So I enjoyed this, and I hope we can get more of Thea moving forwards.
I know some people not a huge fan of Nattie, but think for over 12 years, she's been doing stints like this down in NXT and helping other women get over. Like, there is long list of people she's done this exact copy-paste storyline of, okay, I come in, we have a bit of a beef, respect angle, I beat you first, you got to toughen up and then beat me. That like, literally, we do a series called What's Next. We've been going back through old NXT. We're currently in 2014. We've seen this storyline like already like 3 times in 2014 in NXT. So like we have seen this repeatedly, but it has worked with a lot of people. And I think Nattie is almost best at these kind of matches. I like when she's treated like this. That's why I like this group with her and Carmen and Nikita. Like, I think it works for her.
I always enjoy her work a lot more in NXT than I do on the roster.
Yeah.
And I think it is because you're seeing her tap in more to that training role and being allowed to be a bit more dominant and stuff. And like I give her a lot of shit all the time, but like,
but she's a low-key legend.
She had some good stuff. I wouldn't go that far, but yes.
Backstage, OTM, Lucian Price is getting ready, and Bronco's like, hey, good job last week, and you're ready for tonight for the Speed Championship? And he's like, just like last week, I got this on my own. And he goes, okay, I respect that. So he's going to go out there without Bronco again and says, I'm going to be bringing that gold home. And Bronco says, time to eat. Think Lil JJ's watching? Lil JJ needs to eat.
Always.
So we go to this match. Lucian Price versus Lexis King, the Speed Champion, is putting the title on the line, and this match is 5-minute time limit. We have a super kick right away from Price. 1, 2, but the Birthright pull Lexis out of the ring. Should this not be a DQ? Like, you completely, broke up the pin. But
agreed.
Don't make me go off on NXT refs. We'll be here all night. Did someone say Baron Corbin? Never mind. So we have the Birthright standing there, and eventually they help King gain control. He beats on Price. He hits a double axe off the top. I appreciate Lexis King doing a Jimmy the King shout out. I will rule you. Now, Davey, I know you've never seen Ready to Rumble, but that is a reference to it. However, Lucian Price comes back with those chops to the chest. We saw last week where he busted his chest open hard way. Well, it looks like he does it again here, because the story of this is he's slapping his chest, and the crowd are loving it. One more time. There's a super kick from King as he tries to come back, though, and then gets another chest slap. There's now 2 minutes left. He starts stomping Price out, trying anything he can. There's a lariat, but Price comes back with a spine buster, and then another, but this one just echoing, a slap to the chest on the apron, which he then sets up for the tornado bomb, but the Birthright sweep the leg like Cobra Kai, and it allows a really, really slow and weird setup for the coronation, and it's the 1, 2, 3. Lexis King retains the Speed Championship, and then they beat down on him, so Bronco comes out for the save. But there's a bit of a moment where they stare at each other after, but then they hug it out. They're still boys. But like, Bronco, I know I said I had this. You probably should have came out right when the match started and they got involved.
They were saying that on commentary, weren't they? They're like, yo, there's 5 of them out there. Maybe Bronco should be out.
Stop texting Lil J. Get off the phone with Lil JJ and get out there and help your boy win. Because if you said, hey, I got this on my own, but then the beginning of the match, the other guy's friends pull him out of the match, I'd probably go, you know what? I might just, even if you tell me to go, I might go check it out. So I don't really like the speed title, obviously, but it's a way to keep these characters on TV, sure. I don't mind Lucian Price. I do think there's something there. Like we could tap into this. I think the one thing that a positive of the speed title is, hey, you'd only have to do 5-minute matches. And if you're still, like, he's usually a tag team wrestler, and 5 minutes doing a singles match when you're not used to it, maybe that's a whole lot different. I don't know. But the detriment to the speed thing is these matches aren't that exciting. It's a lot of the copy paste stuff. And Lexis King still feels the same Lexis King. Sure, he can do some Ranas and Topes every now and then and look good, but I don't know. There's still, shout out to Birthright, got their own WWE NXT shop t-shirt out now. I'll get you one for your birthday, but I don't know. It's still kind of the same.
I don't think no one's evolved. You know, like Charlie Dempsey might as well not be in that company.
Is he even still on TV?
He does nothing. He was there, but just he's a cheerleader every week. Like Ariana Grace barely wrestles. Like she did more in TNA than she's ever done in NXT. I've liked Uriah Connors. He's maybe him and Stacks have probably done the most from being in tags and things, but I haven't seen any evolution, and I thought this group would be something a bit more than it was, and it's become very generic. These speed matches are, I feel we've seen this a few times, like Lexis loses a non-title match and then wins the title match, and it's just rinse repeat. I have been impressed with Price the last few weeks, but I kind of took from the ending here was, right, we're just going back to these guys. They're friends and they're the tag team again moving forwards.
Or is it, hey, maybe you should have been out there. Maybe they should break them up. I don't know.
I don't know. They seem pretty happy at the end.
Grayson Waller comes out. He's got a microphone, and he's got a zip-up jacket sweater thing that has a kangaroo on one crest, and the other says, "Stay real." Right?
You got to stay real.
Sometimes, every time. You got to. He has a microphone. He says, "Oh, great. Another Samoan trying to take food off my table." He goes, "Zilla Fatu, you costed me my championship shot last week. And apparently there's another oos here. And apparently these ooses don't know how to wrap it up." He then says that Zilla's the black sheep of the family. And he says that it's great to see you finally got the ankle monitor off so you can roam free here at NXT. Whew. Jeez. He says, and yes, points to his jacket that I mentioned, "I stay real, and I should be number one contender. In fact, I am number one contender. Give me my match right now, and I don't care about what any of you fat blokes have to say." When he's interrupted by Tony D'Angelo, the NXT champion. He comes out and does what, frankly, you've been doing to me last few times we hang out. "Oi, I'm Grayson Waller, lad." He comes out doing, "I'm Grayson Waller."
Don't listen here, lad.
So I got to pop
Grayson Waller, lad.
You do it better than Tony D, to be completely honest. People think you're Australian, right? All the time.
I get it all the time, yeah.
You kind of look like Steve Irwin's son.
Is that a good thing?
Oh yeah. Dancing with the Stars, baby. Anyways, Tony D'Angelo interrupts Grayson Waller and says, "Look, you line them up, I knock them down. I don't care if they give me people from Japan, TNA, Raw, the Island of Irrelevancy. It doesn't matter where you come from. I will beat you, and I'll do the same to you." When they're interrupted, Cruz Montana comes out and says, "Hey, what dust are you smoking, Waller? I must have spun your block a little too hard." And everyone saw that I had you beat before we were interrupted by Zilla. When Stone comes out, it's just a whole party here. He says that because Zilla isn't on contract yet, he's not able to fight because Cruz says, hey, I want to fight him. It doesn't matter if I have to fight Waller, Tony, or Zilla. I want to fight all of them. So Stone says, well, I want to make that happen, but Zilla isn't actually like signed to NXT yet. And at this point, I'm going to make the match a triple threat. And if Zilla gets here, please, no parking lot shenanigans. I'll be the one to talk to him first. So they all agree on this. They go, fine. Sure, I guess. I thought Waller sounded great. Like, since that pipe bomb, if you will, Australian pipe bomb, I thought he's been on a roll with some of the zingers. So, like, there's definitely going to be some traction with the black sheep and the wrapping it up thing for sure by tonight or tomorrow. So
no, I like him. I like him a lot. I think he's been misused, and I hope he's not down here for long, but I hope they figure out what to do with him, because I do think he's been wasted.
I saw they were doing a bunch of NXT tours with CM Punk was involved this past weekend, and they shot a bunch of videos with him getting in Punk's face. So hopefully that leads to him getting some sort of, like, I was assuming Punk might have shown up, but then I remembered Waller is involved in the title match, so Punk wouldn't.
I thought did they show it at all on this show?
Maybe the All Out. Is there another NXT like counter programming? Because I feel like you could book.
There's
Punk
Worlds.
in NXT.
It could be Worlds Collide, couldn't it?
Yeah. True. Punk versus Waller, champion v champion, NXT champion versus WWE champion.
There you go.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I liked Waller out of this. I thought he had some crazy lines. The ankle monitor thing. Cruz is pretty good as well. Like, I think he's a solid person we needed at NXT. And like the story should be Grayson Waller becomes champion and Cruz is the one chasing. Like that is where I would go if I'm booking the show, Shawn Michaels. But I'm sure that's the direction. But I don't know if I would go in the direction of Zilla Fatu. But we'll get to that.
I wouldn't go Zilla right now.
Yeah.
I don't think.
We'll get to that at the end of the show when Zilla shows up, if he shows up. Lizzie, Rain, and Shiloh Hill are backstage hanging out. Shiloh's returning from his injury, so he's ready for his match. Lizzie says, are you ready? He says, yes, but, I'm a little nervous. She mentions Callie Armstrong, and she doesn't use the word pissed, but she says this other British word, like, not another word for annoyed or pissed, or like not pissed in British. I mean, that would be drunk, I guess, but like,
was it peeved?
Nuffed? I'm not sure what she said. I didn't rewind it.
Who's this,
time.
Callie?
No, Lizzie.
Lizzie
Rain,
I
she's
thought
the
I did.
British lady, not the bird lady.
No, I did catch it. I thought I wrote it down. I didn't.
I need to pick up on my British slang. What's hot right now in British?
I'll have to go back and try and find it.
Yeah, like I don't know it too much. I know bell end. But I don't think I'll be using the one I learned last time was glass me bruv. Oi, glass me bruv. So like,
yeah,
I'll learn more, I guess. So Lizzie is upset about Callie Armstrong and some things, and Shiloh's getting ready for his match. We see Mr. Stone's on the phone and says, "Oh, okay, Zilla, I'll see you soon. See you in 30." That's literally. This wasn't as bad as maybe Kane texting, but Stone literally is like, "Oh, see you soon." It's like, all right, man, cool. Keanu, though, is in his chair when he walks into his office, and he's startled by this. Oh, this was great. Oh, this was a fantastic segment. Loved this. Keanu's just chilling in Stone's office in his chair, and Stone's like, "Ooh, what are you doing in my chair?" And he goes, "Oh, you're just putting all these random people in a match? You better put me in that title match, too." And he goes, well, it doesn't work that way. And, I have a lot of time. There's only so much time and I'm busy and all this stuff, but your time will come. And he goes, "Oh, my time will come and gone, all that stuff." Okay. Well, I'm really busy and, you got to get out of here. He goes, "I'll get out of here. But first, Mr. Stone, I made you a coffee." And he's like, well, it's kind of late. It's like 9:30. I don't really want a coffee because I'll be up all night. "Drink the coffee, Stone." So he shakes and takes a sip of the coffee. good. Coffee. And then what did he get interrupted here? I didn't even write what else happened because I was fucking howling at this segment here. Does it just end with him drinking the coffee?
Did this happen in commercials? Because this completely
You didn't even see this?
No, I missed.
Oh my god, this was so funny. Like the clip of him. Like, is this going to be a reveal that like he poisoned his coffee? Like, I don't know what this was referring to.
I think the thing is right now is that Keanu has been
scaring him.
Well, it's like because he's scarier because he's being nice, he's being normal, and he's being calmer, right? Like that's what's almost freaking Stone out, because in the past he's just smashing people and throwing people against walls and breaking desks and things, and now he's just
still scary. He's saying drink the coffee.
Yeah.
This was I don't think I don't know, it was giving me flashbacks of like when they make these big dudes say weird things to get the personality out. Like you said, they're changing the character to see like what else you can do. And just remember Von Wagner. Like he would always have these ridiculous things that he would say that just would crumble me, that just make me laugh. Like I didn't rewind whatever Lizzie Rain said, but I definitely rewound this guy.
I have got it. I need to listen. I need to figure out this Lizzie Rain thing. But...
Someone says nooked, I guess knocked. I'm not sure if that's what she said, but drink the coffee, Stone. Drink the coffee. Maybe it was a decaf, but you know, after 9:30, do you have a cutoff? Although you're a machine. You're not a normal person who drinks normal coffee, so caffeine, I guess, has no effect on you.
Okay, I found the Lizzie Rain thing, so I've got to just give me like 5 seconds to listen to this because I'm intrigued. Okay, all right, let's listen.
Riveting.
All right, she's talking about Kelly Armstrong. Okay. Knocked. She's knocked at her.
She's knocked.
Right.
I'm knocked at her,
She's
bro.
knocked. NARKD. Knocked.
Big Time Baxter in the chat saying what I just wanted to bring up Von Wagner so I could say, hey, Dijak, take your glasses off. We're inside.
What a gift Von Wagner was.
I miss him.
Know what we had. Oh,
I miss him. Can we say it now?
They teased us with him being in AEW, and then
what?
No, he's just he was like backstage in AEW doing security or something, and everyone thought it was going to be an angle.
He's a bloom. He's a prodigy. He's in that. He should be in the Birthright. Fuck it, bring him back. Have him as the muscle. Yeah. I actually if you heard the AEW party commercial with the guitar, we're working on a bit of a new Poisonrana theme, and I'm not even lying. The other day, just messing around, I used the Von Wagner drop of that, and it fit really well. I was like, let's just start every show where it's, hey, Dijak, take those sunglasses off. We're inside. It's just so good. It's I don't know how to make it my text tone, but I would if I could. And my phone's always off anyway. I think it's safe to say we miss Von Wagner. Wherever you are, Von
so
Bloom. I think we would have a great conversation with him. We should try to reach out. We've never interviewed him, but hopefully he doesn't ask us for money. But we love him genuinely. So
yeah, we tried with Kona, but he asked for money, didn't he?
He's the finest.
Okay, Wagner wrestled in March as Von Wagner.
What? They don't even care. They're like, you can have it, bro. You can have that. Yeah. WWE doesn't let me wrestle. Like, when WWE cuts you, you're not allowed to use the name because it's the WWE license and they own it. They were like, Von Wagner. Yeah, that one's lapsing. You can have it, bro. Von, you can have it, Von. Like, what about Von Bloom? There you go. Like Von Doom, bro. How was that not his name?
Yeah.
Big Time Baxter. Shout out Big Time Baxter in the chat saying Joe Gacy is now going by Joseph Sawyer, which is also that's going back to what I joked about earlier. That dude used to go by Joe Gacy, went to WWE, signed to WWE, and now got cut by WWE and is no longer allowed to use his own name. Like, that
really
is crazy. Sold your soul to the devil.
Yeah.
Bless him, though. New GCW champ. but did it in a sleazy way because what? Drake
He's
Younger
the
showed up?
GCW champ?
I think so.
Oh, Game Changer. I was thinking GHC champion. That's nice.
What's GHC?
That's Noah.
Oh, Noah?
I was like, what? Joe Gacy?
He could be. Yo, he could be. They did it they did NXT stuff. You know? Right?
Yeah.
Bless him. I just miss Joe Gacy's. We're doing really like shitty era of NXT like nostalgia right now. We're we miss Von Wagner. Oh man, remember Joe Gacy? I do miss his theme song. Anyways, sorry for the tangent there, guys. Well, from that, we go to our next match. It is Kendal Gray, the NXT Women's Champ, and Wren Sinclair, the Women's Speed Champion for now, taking on Callie Armstrong and Kelani Jordan. The champs are in control here, showing off their tag team skills. Eventually, Gray hits a Rana, and then Wren hits a crossbody to both of them to the outside as they go into commercial. In picture, Booker T references that Kendal Gray and Sinclair aren't really a tag team, and Vic is like, "What do you mean? They're a team. They're like that's their whole thing. Is their team is literally called Ren QCC." And Booker's like, "Oh well, no, like Callie and Kelani, like it kind of makes it sound like they have the tag team advantage." And Vic pushes him again, and Booker's like, "No, like they don't tag a whole lot. They're not a team. They're not a tag team." And Vic is like, they're a team, Book. They're also their friends." And Vic in picture says, and I quote, "You've said some dumb crap, but that might be the craziest."
Okay.
He's like, that's just dumb.
For like a little nugget of this is they don't really team with each other much. Yes,
sure,
they're together, but they're singles competitors and they're always in each other's corner. But they've had a few tag matches and they're best friends. And Callie and Kelani have never teamed and are not friends. So yeah, it was pretty dumb.
So picture in picture, eventually Callie and Kelani beat down on Wren, tagging in and out. When we come back, there's a nice lion salt from Kelani for a near fall. Gray finally tags in with the hot tag. She grays up, is that what it's called? Or she's getting in the gray area with the straps come down. There's the suplexes, the throws. Very impressive stuff here from Kendal Gray. Eventually, she's going back and forth with Callie. There's inside cradles. Eventually hits the spring back elbow, just clocking her. I don't know how they do this move, but it looks so good. Like she's got to be up there.
Andrade back
yeah,
elbow?
She's up there as good as Andrade. she's learning.
Was.
She's really perfected it.
It's it's a little hit first before you hit it with it's like a little left jab, isn't it? First before rolling into it. Look great. She's got this so smooth.
The ref is distracted, but Kelani comes in with like this springboard cutter, but the ref is slow to do it as Booker yells, "Do your damn job, ref!" Eventually, Wren is left alone as Kelani and Gray go to the outside. So it's Wren and Callie left, and Callie hits the Callie connection, the pounce, period. And Callie Armstrong pins Wren Sinclair, meaning she pinned the Speed champions, beating the champions here on NXT. But there was some fun stuff in it, but enough to not necessarily give you the Kelani Kendal Gray match, which is coming up at Heatwave, which I would say is a match I'm definitely looking forward to watching when eventually I do watch it. But this was enough to kind of wet your whistle. But for some reason, Callie is being put into the mix.
Well, we kind of see later why, and I think it's because we're gearing for this hoss fight between Zarya and Callie, and I'm kind of down for that. That sounds fun. I really like all four of these. I do. I know you've kind of like mocked this pounce before because it's a shoulder block, but she does get some speed. It's kind of like the Bron Breakker spear where you're running so fast where it looks that like I've not seen a woman run the ropes like Callie Armstrong before. Right. And
what about Kelly?
Impressive. Yeah, maybe Kelly second, but yeah, I think she's been impressive. I like all four. Like Kelani, it is her time. I really hope she does beat Kendal for this title. 'Cause
I think she's great.
I'd like to see her have a run with this, and it's long overdue. But yeah, it's the women's division's strong.
I love Kendal Gray. I love Kelani Jordan. Honestly, like that match will be the one to watch for Heatwave. Like, I think they could put on something really good. They're two of my favorites, and if all things go correctly, Kendal Gray should be a big star in WWE. Same thing with Kelani Jordan. We've seen her do the squeaky clean baby face now with this heel run, but the wrestling is connecting. Like, it's really, and Kendal being on NXT only such a short time, already being champion, but totally being one of the major stars on this show in quick fashion. But I don't know if Kelani necessarily beats her this quick, but I want Kelani champion. So maybe they do. Maybe they just move. I don't want them to move either of them up anytime soon.
No, but I think Kendal can go on the chase again. Like it's been, I think you could have a little run with Kelani and have Kendal do something they also like doing in NXT is have them have a go at being a heel. So do you see
Kendal heel,
a turn on Wren down the line, and you see what Kendal works like as a heel? Because we didn't think it would work with Roxanne Perez, and it did. So, and they've done that with, they did that with Trick, they did that with Breaker. Like they seems to be a bit of a pattern that they do.
I just love when she takes the straps down like she's Kurt Angle and just goes ham with all the suplexes. It's great. Honestly, like the last few PLEs of NXT have kind of been like, okay, like there's been some cool stuff announced and you're like, oh, that sounds good. But these two have been on a kind of a nice little collision course here where I'm finally like, oh, I really do want to see them tie up. So that's the one to watch. I don't know if they'd put that as the main event off with that four-way that is to come for Heatwave with Zilla and Cruz and stuff.
But probably main event.
But like this is going to be the show stealer. Yeah, you heard it here. This is the one to check out. Well, Dion Lennox and Saquon Sugars have this split screen sit down interview here. They're in different rooms and different lighting because one's a good guy, one's a bad guy. I guess Saquon was running late to this because he didn't quite have his shirt on properly. I don't think he ever really. Do you think he's always like, oh shit, my music's hit? Oh no, trying to put his gear on.
It's also like the top doesn't even have sleeves.
It's a tank top. It's a wife beater.
It's a tank top. Like, okay, maybe you've got your.
Maybe he got it in the wrong.
Before going on there,
he put it in the wrong hole. You ever do that? You ever put it in the wrong one? You're like, oh wait, don't answer that. Like you have a tank top and you're like, wait. That's how he always looks. Like he doesn't have.
I've done entire shifts at work with my shirt inside out, but like at least I wasn't on the telly. Like, come on. Saquon.
I mean, dude's in good shape. I understand it's wrestling. It's just always funny that like he can barely wear it. Just don't wear the shirt. It's okay. Like wrestlers have made careers. Randy Orton, like he wears shirts now, but years he didn't wear pants. So like it's fine. Yeah. But wear it or don't. You know what I mean? I don't know why I just decided to nitpick that, but it was bothering me, and I don't think you've ever brought it up.
Too. I looked at it as well, and like, this is embarrassing.
Wear the shirt. It's not even a shirt. No shoes, no shirt, no service. This is an interview. This is TV. Come on.
Right.
Anyways, Saquon is pretty upset because Dark State once again helped Dion beat him. So he's like, if it was just me and you one-on-one, I would mop the floor with you, college boy. Dion says, oh, that's funny. You think you're cool with this whole Lone Ranger version of yourself, but you're in my shadow and you'll always be in my shadow, says Dion. So Saquon says, yeah, well, I want you one-on-one. How about me and you in a steel cage? Dion's a little scared. He says, oh, you want to keep them out, right? And he goes, yeah, I want to face you. Take me on like a man. Let's go. So Dion says, okay, I'll do a steel cage, but let's throw some weapons in there too. Some NXT weapons like trash cans and kendo sticks. Probably. He then says, I'll accept. So this match is set for next week. Sugar says, you're private school Pete, and you're a great football player, but you can't touch me in this ring because I'm a wrestler. And I'm up next, and you're up never, and it don't get no sweeter than that. And Dion kind of mocks him as he's saying his catchphrase and says, yes, but I'll be the one who walks out, and it doesn't get any sweeter than that. So Dion versus Sugars, the final resolution in a steel cage with weapons next week.
They've really got to deliver next week because both meetings they've had so far have not been good.
Not good.
I think both are fine talkers. Like I didn't hate this between the two. I kind of liked, and I thought they could have maybe dug into it a bit more, where it's like, you know, the sort of private education of Dion Lennox and Saquon being more of, you know, a street rat, if you will, who
right.
I think you could have maybe tapped into that sort of class war thing.
Because the story was, we're all these college students and like D1 athletes, and you're just some indie wrestler with no like education is what they were trying to. Yeah,
I think they could go heavier with that. But so I didn't mind this segment, but like I've hated the matches so far. So they really got to pull out something special next week to get my attention. Because
but come on, I don't know if it's. I think that's just fool me once, fool me twice. Like, I don't know.
I don't have much faith with it.
I honestly do not have too much faith in this, but I would love to be pleasantly surprised. I think Sugars is the one to come out of this feud on top and should be just featured as a solo wrestler, solo act, and move away from this completely. It's the Dark State thing that I don't know what they're going to do with those guys, or Dion as a solo act or whatever. But if anything to salvage, should be Saquon Sugars. He's a good talker. He's a good wrestler. It's just this feud has been great. And I joke about the trash cans and candlesticks, but that's what it's going to be. Like, they never really do
it will be. It won't
anything
be
else. So, like, yeah. Our next match is a number one contendership match because that's what happened earlier. It's Miles Bourne. I totally skipped over that thing earlier with Shiloh Hill. Miles Bourne went up to him and says, Jackson Drake has a match with you, and if he wins, he gets a title shot, but I went to Stone and made it so that if you win, you get a title shot. So if Drake wins, not only does he get to face Miles at Heatwave, but Vanity Project get a rematch against Miles and Tavion, so he will have to double duty at Heatwave.
That's right.
So Shiloh Hill returning from injury, he comes out, no fog, and Booker T says, "Where's the fog?" and then cracks himself laughing, which ultimately got me laughing. Shiloh's in control here, beats on Drake, eventually hits a swinging neck breaker for a near fall. He goes for a back suplex, but it gets countered and gets sent outside. The ref is kind of distracted as Vanity Project beat down on him, and Vic Joseph is like, the Vanity Project are putting the boots to Shiloh Hill. But really, it was Brad Baylor in his flip-flops. He's putting the flops to him. The thongs, I guess, if you will. He gets in the ring, and Jackson Drake hits him with a Shining Wizard for a 2 count as they go into commercial. During the break, though, a neck twist followed up by a lethal injection from Jackson Drake. He must be a big fan of the lethal swirl. Is that what they're called?
Twist.
The lethal twist. Sorry. Oh, how could I mess that up? Shiloh eventually fights back, though, when we come back. There's double chops, an inverted senton. Eventually, though, there's a lion salt attempt from Drake where he lands on his feet, but then gets popped up into the air into a forearm, which was cool. Eventually, Micah gets up and starts to get involved, and so he throws the whole team out. Out of there. This allows a headbutt off the top, but then Drake kind of falls into the referee, which, while Shiloh climbing up, the ref doesn't see. Naraku appears from under the ring and spits, sort of, in the face of Shiloh's face. The red mist, it kind of looked like I didn't really see it, actually, but enough for it to blind Shiloh Hill and allow Jackson Drake to hit a 450 press for the 1-2-3, and Jackson Drake and the Vanity Project are going on to Heatwave in double title matches. But a fun little match here. You didn't get it didn't go outside. It's, what we needed to go, but Shiloh being back, looking good. And I still continue to say, I think Jackson Drake is my favorite guy, new blood on NXT to watch. So this didn't outstay its welcome, and it was all right to set up for where we're going.
I mean, I imagine we're getting
Naraku and Shiloh.
Naraku and Shiloh Hill as well. I liked it. I've been like, Jackson Drake's fantastic. But I think Shiloh Hill's come a long way as well. Like I think he's got quite a nice little moveset going now as well, and he's pretty agile for a big guy, and like I feel he's putting it all together, and him and Naraku is kind of intriguing in a weird way. Like, who'd have thought that's what we'd be getting? But
well, kayfabe wise,
I'm not mad about it.
He called Naraku out. He started talking shit about his mist. So naturally, like, this dude's gonna
like,
come
well,
out
you don't know about the red mist now yet, do you?
You know what he needs to do to counter-react the red mist. Shiloh's gotta have Sierra mist. Show him a little bit of USA, baby. You don't know what that is, do you? It's like Sprite.
No,
I don't know if they still have it, but we didn't have it in Canada. But yeah, so I imagine that gets set up for. No, it's like Sprite, or what do you Brits call it? Lemonade. It's like that.
We have Sprite.
But yes, we need a mist match where both guys just misting each other.
We will. Mist.
We will with it's Shiloh Hill. We're gonna get something involving all the mist and stuff. But yeah, you know what? For him to come back, even while he was off injured, he still had some interesting promos and vignettes, and then came back and looked decent. So he has improved, and they're still figuring out the character, but they're getting closer. Like, they're figuring out the weirdness, and I think people can connect with it. So yeah, I liked it, and I like Vanity Project getting the double title match at Heatwave. What do you think about that? Do you see the Vanity prophecy coming true?
So it depends what way you do these, which order you do these matches. Like,
the North American first, I guess, and then the tag match they retain, and then he loses the North American.
Yeah, like I think he loses North America. I think Miles needs to have a heel run in him because he's been boring, and
so he loses both, and then like
he does double duty, but he can either win or lose the tag match, but him losing the North American title in the second match makes more sense because then he can blame his partner for having to do the heavy lifting in the first match or something like that. Because
I'd like Jackson Drake to win the North American title.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be a nice new twist there for them to have some gold and continue that story. But yeah, we shall see. Zarya is backstage with Mr. Stone. She's like, hey, what's going on with the speed thing? I want a match with Wren, but I don't want no stupid clock to ruin it. He reminds her that there's a unification match and that if you win, you become speed champion and the title disappears because no one wants it. This is when Callie Armstrong walks in and says, hey, I just pinned the speed champion and I don't want to go through no speed tournament. I want the title. So Zarya says, oh, like, you're stepping up to me? Like, who do you think you are? Like, you want in on this? And she's like, yeah, I should be added to the match. Make it a triple threat. So Zarya's getting a little upset at this. And then Callie Armstrong calls Zarya a red-headed heifer.
Oh.
Damn. And says, yeah, how about this, Stone says, you two face next week, and if you beat Zarya, I'll add you to the North American match, unification match. And Callie says, good, and I'm straight like that. I think that's her catchphrase. She's straight like that. So,
yeah,
does she get added to this match?
End up added? Yeah, I think so. I just love how much, more so than the men, but these women hate this speed championship. You have Zarya being like, I don't want no clock. I don't even want it in my match.
I don't want a clock. I don't want the belt.
Armstrong comes in and she wants the belt, but she's like, I don't want some goddamn tournament to go through. Like, it's pretty funny.
So funny.
But yeah, I'm kind of about that. We've seen Wren and Zarya go at it a couple of times, so adding Callie into it, and I think a bit of a hoss fight next week with Callie and Zarya sounds good.
We have, before commercial break, Zilla Fatu shows up, and he's wearing quite a nice shirt here. Zilla the Rock Fatu, a little bit here, with this nice shirt.
He was very wearing. Rock, yeah.
Very fashionable. Yeah. Next week on NXT is the Steel Cage match, Dion versus Saquon. Ray Phoenix versus EK Prosper for the Cruiserweight title, and Callie Armstrong versus Zarya as well. And then all the build going into Heatwave. But we go to our main event segment. Mr. Stone in the ring. He goes, I'd like to bring out Zilla Fatu. So out he comes in his nice shirt. Do you think it's a $5,000 shirt like The Rock used to wear? Not quite. Not quite
yet.
Sheen.
No, I don't think
not
so.
quite like AliExpress yet, but it still was a nice shirt, and still he looked good. His theme is Zilla, Zilla, and then like some rock music hits. It's great. It's really good.
So he got his music before being signed. That's good. And he keeps his name.
So we see Tony D is on the perch watching this. Zilla comes out, grabs the microphone, and says, it's great to sign with the #1 wrestling company in the world, as the crowd here chant Umaga. He then says, I might be a Nepo baby. Instead, he kind of said, I might be a Nympho baby. And then you heard some people in the crowd go, what? What did he just say? A Nympho baby? I think that's not what you meant to say there, but I digress. He says the talent will speak for itself, and last week I made a lot of folks mad, but get used to it. This is when Grayson Waller comes out. This is when Cruz Montana comes out through the crowd. Everyone's coming out, and they're being blocked by security and jobber cops. So he's handed the contract, he signs it, and Mr. Stone says, at Heatwave, Zilla Fatu will wrestle his first NXT match, and it will be for the NXT Championship in the Fatal 4-Way. So as all four are like separated, as Zilla Fatu smiles on as he signs with NXT, as NXT goes off the air. But there you go. Heatwave matches confirmed. 4-Way, Waller, Zilla, Tony, and Cruz.
Yeah, it's kind of what we assumed last week when Zilla showed up, but it does feel bigger. Like we do have a bigger men's division now, a more interesting men's division now moving forward, which is great. We've been calling for it for a long time. I think I mentioned last week, I know the name Zilla Fatu. I've seen his pictures. I can't say I've ever watched him wrestle, but I think in the 2 weeks I've been impressed by, I thought he sounded confident on the mic. I thought his attack last week, he looked pretty like speedy and impactful and stuff. So I'll have to see when the bell rings, but so far I think he's impressed me when he comes in. I think there's maybe a better option for now to go. I think it's early to put the championship on him now, and I think Waller's maybe the better option at the moment, but yeah, he's impressed so far.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting match. Like there's a dynamic there of having Cruz Montana being featured in a big title match. Tony D'Angelo, I do feel, is a cold character, so this is an easy title change happening at Heatwave. I would assume they're gonna have to try to move him up. I have no idea what it's gonna be. Don't know if he's gonna join Big Cass and Enzo in an Italian FBI situation or something, but we need a new champion. If you asked me a few years ago if I ever said Grayson Waller is the best choice, I still think that. I don't think having Zilla come in and win it right away is a good look on your like roster. People who've been shooting in the gym,
especially with
like,
that name.
Especially with him, especially
like,
especially like the whole Nepo baby Fatu bloodline and his attitude that is kind of known before coming into WWE with the Indies. I think it's a bit of a like knock to some of the talent who have been like shooting in the gym day in and day out for the past few years who are there. So that's why I would say it's way more interesting if you go Grayson Waller and then Cruz on the chase, because then there's a whole story you can do. And then when do we go to New York, the MSG Theater? Maybe you hold out all the way till then to have Cruz win it. Unlike TNA, when they didn't have Santana win in New York the title, this time you do it. I know that's Mania, so that's a ways away, but Grayson Waller shooting off at the mic in the mouth lately would probably help carry TV a bit more. So dare I say it, Grayson Waller for champ.
Waller and then champ v champ at Worlds Collide. I think that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah,
As in
CM Punk
Waller
and Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
And then Zilla, like, you can spiral him off into feuds. At first, you could go Cruz and Zilla into a feud at first.
Like
Tony and, there's so much you could do before that.
Zilla could be on the main roster by War Games.
He's in War Games already. Yeah, exactly.
Like, so don't bother with the title, just come and cause some shit in NXT and then
he could debut at War Games.
Yeah. Sure.
Which would probably happen. You know what? Like we said, like some of the PLEs and the builds haven't been too exciting, but this one does have some interest. Like this 4-way match is exciting. We've been begging, as people who watch this show week in and week out, of this soap opera of Degrassi High known as NXT. We've been waiting for them to like beef up and the men's division to be taken seriously a bit more again. And it feels like that prayer has been answered with them throwing so many new people into the mix of Cruz. Here's Zilla. Sure, they might be not what people are used to or not seen a whole lot of quite yet, but that's what this show is for and what NXT is all about. So I'm willing to see, like, Mason Rook can be another one, a project. There's a few. Sign other people, like keeping the thing going, but finally having a proper men's division is a step in the right direction. So that 4-way match plus Kelani and Kendal Gray, like, Heatwave is looking all right.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed this episode today. I thought quite a few of the matches delivered, and some story progression. And yeah, I'm excited for the show we're not reviewing.
It's a shame. Like, this would be one. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like that, it feels like it's got a bit more buzz than other PLEs NXT have done.
Look, some people are going to watch this over AEW, and that's totally fine. You choose what you watch and what you don't like watching. It's just, yeah, they have chosen to do this PLE the exact same day and at 3 p.m. suspiciously on a Sunday afternoon. So, unfortunately, you got to pick sometimes. I will watch this show eventually, whether it be a few days removed or whatever. We will eventually talk about it, but unfortunately, the way the cards are, we won't. But this was a fine episode. It had some good wrestling, some good character building, and some new people that I'm excited to watch on Tuesdays. I hope Vanity Project win all the gold at Heatwave, but most importantly, Jackson Drake. So, yeah.
Megan left a piece of feedback for us on our Facebook group. If you haven't joined our Poison Rana Facebook group, and you are on Facebook, what are you waiting for? Just search Poison Rana and look for the frog. Megan says, solid episode that did a fine job of setting the stage for Heatwave. The Cruiserweight 4-way, no shock, was the match of the night. Prosper really stood out. Zilla Fatu putting pen to paper in the closing segment was good, despite mistaking Nepo with Nympho. I'm sure it will evoke a lot of IO memes. I'm pretty certain that Grayson will get the title in Texas to give the landscape a new coat of paint. Heading into the fall, double jeopardy for Miles as he's got 2 title matches. NXT has made fixing the men's division a priority in recent weeks, and it's continuing to head in the right direction.
Thank you, Megan, as always. They also aired a commercial for any Canadian listeners in our neck of the woods, sort of, Ontario, Canada. They put an advertisement on tonight's show for 3 NXT live events coming to the Great White North. Take a listen to this. Thursday, October 15th in Kitchener, Ontario at The Odd. I went there a year ago for our big charity show, which was awesome to see some wrestling in. I know Ja Rule played there recently. Friday, October 16th, Shawn Michaels is making the NXT roster go to Sudbury, Ontario, which is, oddly enough, home of our friend Eric Marcotte, who's sitting on your couch. Eric, ask him. Is he going to go to NXT in Sudbury? Are you going to?
I think so. He's considering it.
Oh, he should. We'll send him live report there. And then they're also going to Gatineau at the Slush Puppy Center. So maybe we should go. We should go to one of these shows.
I'm down to hit up one of them. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if sorry, Eric, I love you, but I don't know if I'd make that crazy trek for NXT, but it's possible. Kitchener?
Yeah, fuck it.
Kitchener, Kitchener Waterloo. What if? Oh man, there's this like rapper, SoundCloud or Instagram rapper called this guy Summertime in the Lou. He should come out with Vanity Project at the Kitchener show at the Odd. Book it, Shawn Michaels. I want to see it. But yeah, maybe we'll be at some of these shows. if they're coming to our area. But it's good. Get these reps in for these young wrestlers. It's good stuff. So maybe the NXT coming to a town near you. Appreciate everyone out there, all the NXT friends and the postmarks. If you made it this far, thank you very much. If you made it this far, search Poisonrana Pod in your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, whatever you use. Poisonrana Podcast. Give us a follow. Check out tons of free content, free podcasts. And if you want to hear more, patreon.com/Poisonrana. We have our Was Next series going through all the old NXT in the Full Sail Black and Gold era. We got movie reviews. We recently reviewed Jackass, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, wrestling episodes. We've been all over the place. SummerSlam 01. We love doing the content and creating it, and appreciate it if you check it out. $5 a month at our Poisonrana Patreon. But we'll talk again soon. Eventually, you'll be across the pond. We'll do a show sometime next week, but follow the socials for all the updates and our journeys across to England, jolly old London. So appreciate everybody. That's it.
Yep. Let's get out of here.
Take care. Goodbye. And be safe.
Ahoy!
Shout out the dirty, stinky bird lady.